What's up guys, Richard Beast here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing off my army for Warhammer 40k. Literally nobody asked for this video, but you're getting it anyway. So let's dive right in.
Break them.
Alright, so here we have it. This is my Imperium army for Warhammer 40k. I say Imperium and not just Space Marines because I do have some Space Wolves in here as well. Thankfully, they do all fall under the Imperium faction keyword, so I can run them all in the same army. This is a brigade detachment. For those who don't know what that is, basically I have enough different types of units in this army for it to be considered a brigade detachment by the game rules, which gives me a huge advantage at the start of the game in that I am allotted an extra 9 command points that I can use to re-roll failed dice rolls and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. First and foremost, I've got my flyers. I've got the Stormhawk Interceptor. It is equipped with 2 Typhoon missile launchers, 2 assault cannons, and the Las Talon. The other flyer is my Stormraven gunship. It is equipped with twin Las cannon, 2 Storm Strike missile launchers, Typhoon missile launcher, and 2 Hurricane bolters, 1 on either side. And I'm actually planning on getting an additional interceptor here in a couple weeks, and that would get me up to 3 flyers, which would actually give me an air wing detachment, which would allow me to start the game with 1 additional command point, which I am greatly looking forward to. Next are the fast attack units. These are not... still working on painting these. I haven't even started on these guys back here, and most of these guys only have the base coat on them. They're not finished. This is what they're going to look like with the full detail, though. Ruka has been working on these, and they look absolutely amazing. So she just hasn't had time to finish all of them just yet. But I have the a unit of Thunderwolf Cavalry. It's these 3 guys right here. And then I currently have 2 units of 5 each of the, I think, what is it, it's something wolves. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look in the codex to actually tell you what they're called. It's like Phoenician, something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I'll put a little like text down here to correct myself in editing. But anyway, those are that's my 3 fast attack units. Each one of these is an individual unit, so unit of 5 and a unit of 5. And of these guys, 1 unit can have up to 15. So I could have, in addition to this unit right here, I could have up to 30 of these guys on the battlefield at once. 2 units of 15 each, or more if I wanted to. I could actually add a 4th fast attack unit and still meet the requirements for a brigade detachment, and that would just look incredible. I'm going to work towards that eventually. Okay, moving on. We have our elite units. We have the 2 Venerable Dreadnoughts back here. Each one of them is their own unit. And then we have a unit of Assault Centurions right here. These 3 guys consist of 1 unit. So we have our 3 elite units back here. And these guys are actually really good for up-close and personal melee combat, which is actually pretty helpful for me because Ruka runs Tyranids. You can see hers up there. A lot of them are yet to be painted, but she'll get around to them. And the Tyranids are very, very heavily melee units. My cats are fighting in the background. Don't know if y'all can hear that. Let's go ahead and put a stopper on that if we can. Alright, moving on, let's stick to the back. We have our heavy support. So, as far as heavy support, we have the Vindicator, which is basically a bulldozer tank. It is armed with a demolisher cannon, a storm bolter, and then on the back there is a hunter killer missile. And this is a weapon on the Vindicator that can actually only be used once per game. So it's sort of a last resort kind of deal, because like once I use it in a game, I cannot use it again for the rest of that battle. So it's like, well, once it's used, it's used. But it looks awesome. I'm really happy with how the paint job turned out. And then again, for heavy support, we have our Hellblasters. Now, these Hellblasters, they are currently set up as 1 unit of 10. They can actually split into 2 units of 5, which is why I actually have their bases marked. I don't know if you can see that. I have the front line is marked with blue, the red line is marked with red, and that is for my sake. If I choose to split them into 2 different units, I know which models go to which unit, because I have red team and blue team. Makes it really easy to discern who's who on the battlefield. And then our last heavy support unit is the Devastator Squad. Now, the Devastator Squad, they had a multitude of weapon options when I first got them. What I ended up going with is I have 2 multi-meltas. The Sergeant is armed with, I believe that is a Combi Melta and Power Axe, Heavy Bolter, and then a standard missile launcher for this guy over here. Oh yeah, and then the Hellblasters, they are all equipped with plasma incinerators. I did kind of mess up on these. I meant to just do the regular plasma incinerators, which would have given them all the rapid fire statistic. But I ended up making this guy and this guy into heavy plasma incinerators. So there's actually 8 regular and 2 heavies. So I basically just worked it out to where when they do split up into red team and blue team, each unit of 5 has 1 heavy and 4 regular in it. So I got it to where it balances out. And I'll eventually get more of the Hellblasters. So that way I can have a unit of 10 regular and a unit of 10 heavy, and then I can just choose which unit I want to send into battle. Alright, so moving on to the troop choices. We have, these are the Space Wolves. This unit, they are called the Blood Claws. Most of them are armed with chain swords. This guy over here is armed with, I believe those are the Wolf Claws. The cats are fighting again. Always at the most inopportune times. Have a few, got a few plasma guns. That guy back there, he's got a plasma pistol. And then most everyone else are armed with the standard Space Marine bolt guns. Which, nothing wrong with that. This guy also has a, this guy up front is armed with a Storm Shield. I believe that gives him a 3-up invulnerable save. Anyone who has the shield. And then also, this guy up here in my Thunderwolf Cavalry also has a Storm Shield, so he would have a 3-up invul as well. So we got our unit of 10 Blood Claws. They do remain a single unit of 10. I've checked the codex. They cannot split into 2 units of 5 like the Space Marines proper can. So like my Hellblasters back there, I can split them into 2 units of 5. I cannot do that for the Space Wolves, and that's fine. They're honestly, I would prefer to keep them all together. Anyway, they're much stronger when kept as a cohesive unit of 10. Next, we have our Tactical Marines. I have either 2 units of 10 or 4 units of 5, depending on how I want to divide them up. And they're all armed exactly the same. So we've got the 1 missile launcher. Lieutenant is armed with a Combi Melta. And the Specialist is armed with a Melta gun, and the rest have the regular bolt guns. Same for this unit of attack marines up here. They are all armed exactly the same. They all have the same armaments, and I did that just to make it easy to calculate the point value, so I could basically just copy and paste the point values. Plus, like, what I had for the original unit before I got the second one was working out pretty well for me, so I figured, why fix it if it ain't broke? And then finally, well, actually, not finally just yet, we have our scout squad with sniper rifles. And again, this is actually 2 units of 5. They do not operate in a 10-man unit. Again, we have blue team, we have red team. Blue team up front, because blue team for life. They are armed, 4 of them are armed with sniper rifles, and then you've got 1 missile launcher per squad. And then finally, we have our HQ units. For the Space Wolves, we have the Wolf Lord. He is armed with a Combi Melta and Wolf Claws. I'm actually really happy with the paint job on this one and how it came out. Zoom in a little bit on that so you can actually see. It came out beautifully. Really happy with that. We have our 2 captains in Terminator armor, or just Terminator captains for short. We've got 2 of those guys. We have our Primaris Chaplain, which he's got some really neat abilities, particularly in the fight phase and melee combat. And then for our Psyker unit, we have our Librarian in Terminator armor, our Terminator Librarian. So, altogether, taking into account the 2018 chapter approved updated point values, this army is sitting at 2,685 points. That is the total cost of this army. So basically, when you're playing Warhammer, generally you'll have a 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 point game, and basically what that means is each player can send up to 1,000. Let's say it's a 1,000 point game. You can send 1,000 points worth of units into that battle. And each unit has its own unique point value. And I actually have a full list of all of my units' point values. I might post it up on Twitter or something, just so you guys can see exactly. But yeah, currently the cost of this army in total is 2,685, so just shy of 2,700. Once I get the second interceptor over here, that'll put me pretty much right at the 3,000 mark. So I'll be able to take this entire army into a 3,000 point battle, which would honestly look amazing. Up to this point, I've only ever really played 1,000 point games. So honestly, about a third of what you see here is what actually went into battle. But in a 3,000 point game, I can send all of it, which I'm really looking forward to. So, and I'll probably film some battle reports. I know my friend Zessage was wanting to do a 3,000 point battle with his army against mine, and I don't know if that's gonna. Let's see. Today is Monday the 7th that I'm recording this. Go ahead and date the video now. He's wanting, if we can, he's wanting to do a battle this Thursday. And I may be driving back up from San Antonio that day, so I don't know if that'll happen or not. But if it does, we will definitely try to record probably bits and pieces of the battle. But definitely, I can showcase his army against mine. And we'll see what happens from there. Oh yeah, also the paint job that I did want to talk about the paint job on these. This is a custom paint job that that I came up with. I basically was inspired by the UNSC Marines from the Halo franchise with this paint scheme. The Space Marines, canonically in Warhammer, have several different chapters, or like basically several different units or squads that they come from. These guys are a custom sub-chapter of the Salamanders, which is what I run them as. And the name of that custom sub-chapter is called the Dragonborn. And the Salamanders actually have a really cool ability, in that they are able to re-roll one failed hit roll and one failed wound roll per shooting phase per unit. So anytime one of my units takes a shot, well, it's per ground unit. Let me be clear on that. It's that can't be used for the flyers. It can't be used. I don't think it can be used for the tank. That only applies to my ground units and the dreadnoughts. But basically, anytime I fail to land a hit or a wound on a dice roll, I can just say, no, I'm going to re-roll that without it costing any command points or having any penalty whatsoever. That's just the ability that these units have. And it's honestly pretty awesome, and it's gotten me out of a lot of sticky situations before. So, yeah, that is my Warhammer army. I wanted to showcase this off to you, and I'll do another video at the end of the year, or at the end of this year, to showcase it again, because it will probably be a lot bigger than what it is now. I'm definitely planning on expanding it, but we will definitely see how that goes, and until next time, I will see y'all later. Peace.